It's not often we start the show with breaking news, but we have breaking news this week. Find out what it is right now in the Welcome to the 1 Hour, 1 Hour podcast. You know, it's going to be a great show when your host butchers the open to the show. Can't even speak in the first 15 seconds. You know, we're in for a good one.
I didn't know we were rebranding. Can you spell whatever our new name is, like phonetically? Use it in a sentence? Part of speech?
No idea. I think it was just noises. It wasn't even phonetic. It was just noises.
That'll work. Netflix subtitles do that.
Hello, welcome to our podcast. Brackets incoherent noises.
Indecipherable gibberish. Yes. And I am joined by my host, winner of the Scripps National Spelling Bee, Richie Flores.
Spell banana.
Hey, Gwen Stefani taught all of us that one back in the day, so you should be good.
It's one of my favorite episodes of Psych for some reason is like it was like the second or third episode of the show when there's a murder at a spelling bee and Sean has to take over like as the spell master. And so he just gets on the mic and he goes, "The word is banana." It's always cracking me up. I don't know why, but his inflection while saying that.
It goes in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Of the
And then
the
the
vocal
kid
stems
goes,
that
"Can you
come up.
use it in a sentence?" And he uses in a sentence.
I feel like
The
I've said
banana.
this on the podcast before, but when Hollaback Girl first came out, I thought the reason that she was spelling banana is because it was a swear word, and like that's why I wasn't allowed to listen to that song. I didn't realize, obviously, like if I hadn't heard other swear words, I was like 12, so I just figured because sometimes like grown-ups do that, and it's like they spell the word or if they don't want
Mm-hmm.
you to know it, or like you spell a word in front of your dog if you don't want them to know it.
Mm-hmm.
We spell a lot of things in front of my dog, but she knows them anyway. But yeah, for a long time I thought banana was the swear word. I was like, what?
That's too funny.
Tracks.
Can't say banana.
Mm-mm.
Okay, everybody. We have breaking news on the show. Do you know about this? It's in the document, so you definitely know about it now. I should have surprised you with it, but the breaking news on
Okay,
today's
I saw the headline. I was surprised though. I'll give you that one.
yes, today's breaking news: Buffalo Wild Wings unveils wing flavored protein espresso martini.
I don't a couple of questions starting with why and how and who pitched it and who's the target consumer and for how long and how expensive is it and can you send it back if you don't like it? And I think that's probably all my questions.
Well, I'll answer some of the questions. Just
Mm-hmm.
in time for National Espresso Martini Day on March 15th, Buffalo Wild Wings is releasing a wing flavored espresso martini. The cocktail is infused with buffalo dry rub and jam packed with 10 grams of protein, according to Buffalo Wild Wings. Um, the espresso protini is made with classic espresso martini ingredients plus muscle milk protein powder. Buffalo Wild Wings president said today the cocktail is infused with buffalo dry rub, which is also served around the drink's rim. Um, it's going to cost $12 on its own, or you can get a 6 count of boneless wings for $20. And it's only available for this weekend. So it's going to be available from March 13th through Sunday, March 15th.
Okay, and if you go, you have an obligation now to tag us and let us know how it is and what you think.
I have a
'Cause now
Buffalo
we're
Wild Wings
invested
right
in
across
this.
the street from me, and I'm not going to lie, there's kind of a part of me that wants to go try this.
I have one down the street from me, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go. They know me there. I can't go back to that place.
Yeah. Um,
Where, side note, why are we putting protein in everything? Have you noticed this? Like, you go to the grocery store and
yes.
everything says it has protein in it.
Yes.
What's the deal?
Capitalism.
Well, sure, but like everything is capitalism. That's what's that other book? It's like everything is tuberculosis. That's
Yeah.
John Green. Everything
Yeah.
is capitalism. It's just why are we using protein as the vehicle for capitalism?
That like ramped
Most
up in the
people get
last.
plenty of protein. Most
Yeah.
people get plenty.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
I,
pronounced it like poutine there.
I like
Protein.
my
I don't want to.
my protein pancakes. But
Sure.
you know the ones. Yeah, those are
hmm
delicious.
Sometimes. I feel like when I make them, they always just taste like flaxseed or something. I'm underwhelmed, but I love a good pancake. It's hard to impress me with a
Yes.
pancake. I feel like it's. I will say the thing that I have been eating that has a little more protein in it is the
Chicken
instant
nuggets.
oatmeal. Well, those are good too. Um, the the instant oatmeal that's like the Quaker kind
Mm-hmm.
that they have protein in it. It's like 10 or 12 grams of protein. So sometimes when I don't feel like a whole meal for breakfast, I'll just like
Mm-hmm.
slam down some oatmeal, some instant oatmeal, and then feel
Yeah,
better about it.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. But yeah, like I don't. Yeah, we shouldn't have to go to coffee shops and order a protein coffee.
Right. I don't want protein coffee. I don't want protein bread. I don't need protein. Some people need protein cereal, I guess. Like that's been a thing forever, but just we're putting it in everything.
Yes. And now it's
What's the
in
deal?
your espresso martinis.
Yeah. Now we're mixing muscle milk with liquor and then lining the glass with Buffalo Wild Wings dry rub.
Yeah.
What in the fresh bejesus are we doing?
Like I have some free time this weekend. So maybe I think I might go try this. Like
Okay.
actually legit.
Okay. I believe in you. I hope it's good. $12 is not horrible if it's gross. Like
It's yeah.
you and I have probably spent a worse $12 in our lives, but
Hmm.
yeah, I hope it's good.
Spoiler, it's probably not going to be good.
You're gonna be the only
Um
guy in the bar and grill ordering that.
yeah.
And be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. First of all, I love espresso martinis. They are great. Don't drink them that often, but you know, I dabble once in a
Mhm.
while. And a good
I like the
espresso
look of
martini
an
is like
espresso
life
martini.
changing.
Like it's aesthetically pleasing when they
And you
do
have
like
to
it has
put the
the little foam
beans.
on top and you put the like two or three individual
You have to
coffee
put
beans
three
in it.
beans. Three beans.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do two. You can't do four. You got to do three,
Four
as is
feels like a
tradition.
lot. And in Chicago, you only need one, the bean.
Yes. Which hopefully we will be visiting.
Maybe. We'll see. We should know soon. We should know soon.
We get the lineup for Lollapalooza next week,
Mhm.
and then tickets go on sale like I think the couple days later, the week after or something. So
Mhm.
both of us got freaked out this morning because we both got a text and it was just telling us when the lineup was coming out.
Mhm. It was a very scary text to receive in the middle of the day. I was like, "Wait, I'm not ready." It was like, "It's almost time. Your 2026 lineup," and I've never clicked on a link so fast. And it was like, "Yeah, so that's gonna be out in a week. Tune back in." Like, wait, hey, hold on.
Yep. So we're gonna find out. Um, a lot of speculation going on, but yeah, we already booked our hotel,
hmm We have a
so we got
placeholder.
that down.
Just in case
Yes.
we really like the lineup, we have a
Hmm.
placeholder.
Yes, we do. Um, and yeah, so we'll find it. We'll keep you updated, everybody, on that as that progresses.
hmm
We are tentatively calling it Take Cargo.
Until we come up with something else, but I'm kind of latching onto that now. It's kind of funny for a dumb reason. I don't know. Just some about it. Like, does it flow? Not particularly. Does it make sense? Also, not particularly.
No.
But does it kind of stick? Like, Maybe. Maybe.
I like it because I came up with it completely out of the blue. So
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see who shows up. We might get a fun little trip. I was noticing today because you probably got the same text or email I did that Lucy Dacus is doing some more shows. I was capital N noticing that
hmm
none of her show dates are in are like around the same time period that is
hmm
Lollapalooza, I think.
hmm
So I was like, wait a second. Or you know, other festivals and things like that. I'm like, is a lot of people seem to be announcing tours and then leaving a conveniently located blank section of time around when
hmm
most of those
right.
festivals are happening. So are you announcing or are you not?
hmm That's just. I saw people on the Reddit speculating that. So and then we had the dummies in the chat that didn't know about it. And they're like, "Oh, this Mean Boy Genius is coming back." Like, no, they're not. Stop it.
No, they're they're suspended. They have a one
Even
race suspension.
even though we've seen plenty of JB and Lucy at the Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, proof of life. I saw them with Billy Idol. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing there? It's a really weird crossover.
All right, let's move on. What the hell are we going to talk about next? Go buy your Buffalo Wild Wings protein espresso martini, everybody, and let us know what you think.
But not if you don't want to, because we don't believe in capitalism. But if you
Yeah,
want to, and you send us a review if you want to.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. We're just talking about music, so let's keep the music theme going. I put in here. I titled this chapter of the show, "Harry Says You Will Dance." Hello?
Are you gonna finish it, or because there's more
No.
there? I'm waiting for
Yeah,
you to
there
read
is.
the whole rest of it.
Oh, there is more. Okay, yeah, yeah. I can read the whole thing.
Yeah,
Um,
might as well.
okay, let me try this again. We're not gonna clip this out. We're gonna do it again. Okay, here we go.
Mhm.
And this chapter of the episode, I am titling "Harry Says You Will Dance." Dot dot dot. Streets are saying it's Pilot's Core? Question mark.
That's better. We might be able to run it a third time just for like fluidity, but we'll spare people of that. I okay. I want to know your thoughts because you were one of the first people I got a text message from about that was listening to this album. Um, I was told in person first thing immediately, alarmingly, on Friday morning when this album came out. It was like 6 in the morning, and I already had someone in my ear that was like, "I don't like it. It's bad." I'm like, "Wait, I haven't even listened to it yet." Um, Not that I forgot that it was coming out, but I was like, I don't know if I can fully appreciate the experience right now because I'm exhausted. Like I'm driving to work. I'm like, whatever. And I already had someone in my ear telling me that it was bad, and I didn't have great expectations for it. And then you texted me and you're like, I actually kind of like it. And I listened to it and I was like, I actually kind of like it. And then I talked to another person and they were like, I really like it. So we're like, how many is that? Three. We're 75% of people that I directly talked to that day on Friday that enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
it. And I think it's kind of spreading. Like it seems to be getting some traction. It's not all
Yeah.
over the world immediately, but it's been good, I think.
Yes, I think it's starting to gain traction. Unless you don't listen to the folks at Pitchfork because they were like roasting it, and yeah,
Pitchfork is
um,
stupid. You and I
yeah,
have said that from the beginning. Pitchfork sucks at ratings. They get everything wrong and it's not an unbiased review.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. They gave it like a 5 point something. I was like, what are you listening to? Because I will preface this by saying I, in the past, have never really been the biggest Harry Styles fan outside of like a song or two. Like I wasn't the biggest, you know, when he did his last tour. I was like, okay, fine, cool, like have
Mm-hmm.
fun. I wasn't really on that side of TikTok. Um, I was very on the record saying I did not like Watermelon Sugar. That song was like very
I don't like
not for
watermelon
me.
sugar either. That song's terrible.
uh, and so yeah, so coming in, I like when he put out Aperture, the single. I remember texting. He was like, "Dude, I actually like this. This is kind of a bop, like low key. Like I was listening to it for, and I'm like, okay." Like it's a bop. Um, and then yeah, I turned on the album on Friday morning, driving to the track, and I was like, damn, this is actually legit good. Like I enjoy this. I am liking this like kind of like more dancey vibe, more so than the
Mhm.
pop vibes that Harry was dealing with before. So like this is like for this record, as far as in my knowledge of Harry Styles, this is a lot different than his previous work, which is cool. And so yeah, I like this a lot, man. There's some songs in here that I really like and are really fun. I've been listening to a lot, and people seem to be enjoying. And so yeah, I dig it, man. And I didn't expect to dig it. I was like, I might like this, but I did. I really like it.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I didn't really go in with any expectations for what it was gonna sound like or any assumptions of what it was gonna sound like. Aperture took a second to kind of grow on me because again, like you said, it's a very different new sound for him, and I'm used to his production being much more vocals forward or pop radio style versus the sort of synth pop that this became. Um, and it could have also been part of it that like when I listened to it that afternoon on Friday, it was like the first 75-degree sunny day since last summer here. So everybody's moods were significantly higher. But I really enjoyed it. I think on first listen I was willing to give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Um, there's some stuff that surprised me in what it sounded like, just given, the title of the track and what information we try to gather from that. But I thought it was all really good. It was a different sound. I was gonna make another point there, but I'm not sure I know where it went, so maybe it'll come back to me.
Yeah, I like American Girls a lot. That song is super
Hmm.
fun and vibey. Ready Steady Go is a blast. That's good.
Oh, I have a
Um,
point. I found it.
yes.
I thought when I was listening to it, I was like, you know why Richie probably likes this is because it gives me a little bit of Joe the Crux vibes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It was like there's some similar thread that's woven
Yes.
through those things just in terms of recent albums. I'm like that gives a little bit of Joe indie pop.
Yes. I think I'm trying to remember what song it might be. Either it's later in the record. I think it might be season 2 Weight Loss. I think maybe. And I was listening to that again a little bit earlier. I was like, okay, that's got some Joe to it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's a perfect example. So yeah, like, um, yeah. So American Girls, Ready Steady Go, Dance No More, and I think my favorite song is Pop, dude. I love that
Dude,
song is
me
so fun.
too. Me too. It didn't go anywhere I expected it to go.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he fooled us with the first half of that song. I was like, "What
Mm-hmm,
is this?" And then that
mm-hmm,
chorus hits and there's something about it that's such an earworm that like gets stuck
yeah,
in there. I'm like, "Oh yeah." I think it's that synth in the background that's kind of just like it's not like carnival music, but it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So this was I like we said, this was like super duper surprising for me. I didn't like I said, I did not expect to like this, and I did, and it's great. And we always love artists who are able to challenge themselves and and do stuff like this, which is you know com- completely change how we look at them as an artist and change the way they sound and challenge themselves and do something like this record. Um, I was looking real quick. I went back and looked at the previous record, Harry's House, which won Best Album at the Grammys, for goodness sake. And I was looking
Hmm.
at the track listing. I was like, outside of As It Was, I don't remember anything about that record. It won Best
I have
Album.
that I have that record on vinyl. Music for a sushi restaurant can go. I'm sorry. It's that's like the watermelon sugar there.
Yeah.
That's the top 40 radio catchy one that like
Hmm.
will be playing in a supermarket 5 years from now. You're
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, that one." But there's some stuff on the back half of that record that's really pretty good. Like Matilda, Little Freak, there's some deeper cuts off of that one that I really
Hmm.
enjoy. And it's a cool pressing. It's like I think they called it sea glass. It's kind of like this sea foam,
Oh
like
yeah,
blue
yeah,
green.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah, you showed that to me before.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah. So big fan of this one. Um, let's see. I think it's I think it's funny going through some of their. Let's see some of the reviews. Everybody's like, "There's a lot of 4 stars here, 3.5s, and then yeah, then you get to then you get to Pitchfork, which is like ass."
I heard someone saying, and I don't remember what review outlet it was, but it was like pretty much the only thing that, like, the way that they phrased it was like the only thing that made you remember that it was Harry Styles is that it was like time for a new Harry Styles album, and that's
Yeah.
like the only thing about this. Like, while I do sometimes agree that it feels like artists are on a schedule with stuff like that, I think this is fresh enough and a new sound from him that it's very much like an exploration into whatever this new chapter is for his music, rather than like I hate to roast on Life of a Showgirl, but that one really felt like we should be putting out a new album without like being something completely new and different. It's like it's
Yeah.
time for an album. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, mother.
Um, last thing on this, are you buying into the a lot of 21 Pilots fans are latching onto this record because they say they are hearing a lot of similarities between this record and some 21 Pilot songs. And I don't disagree with them at all because there are a few people that have kind of pointed out some of the similarities in the production. I was like, okay, I can see that. Like I put a link in the document here. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get, you know, I don't want Tyler Joseph to send his goons after us, you know.
He will. He's got snipers.
But like yeah, like that one link I put in there, like they go through and I think they kind of slow it down a little bit, but like okay, I can see that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a deep enough discography from both of these artists that I think you're gonna have some crossover.
Mm-hmm.
I was just checking, I was Googling to see if any of the like production crew was the same. It doesn't look like it is,
Right.
but that would be an easy way to be like, oh yeah, influence. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be hard not to be influenced by other stuff that's in the public sphere, especially for like radio. Like you're constantly hearing it as an artist. Like you're gonna accidentally make some things that turn out to be songs that already exist. Like that's just the way that your brain works.
Mm-hmm. All right, we can. Oh, well, the tracks of the week. Got any tracks of the week this week outside of the Harry stuff?
Let's see. Yeah, we picked some of those up. I picked up a song called Brain Dead by Beach Weather. I
Mm-hmm.
think I've pulled some stuff from them before on here, or at least off of this record that was good. And then I pulled off Reputation by Stephen Dawes, which just dropped along with the Good Boy Daisy record, so not this past Friday, but the one before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we already talked about that one, but if we didn't, go stream that
Yes.
aggressively. Stream that
Yes.
aggressively.
The new EP is coming out here in a few weeks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like by the time y'all
I
hear
think
this,
March
the week
31st.
after, 31st, you said.
31st? 21st? I don't know. I don't work here. Uh, hold on. Hold on. I have this
She's
information.
looking. She's looking.
We are checking. It is, yeah, March 27th.
March. Yep. There you go. Yeah. So
So
that's like
literally the day before my show. So a little album release party.
yeah. There you go. Hell yeah.
It was fun. All right.
Okay. Okay. We got some other stuff to talk about here. Let's see. We got some racing stuff to talk about. Ooh, we'll save the commercial pitch for the end. We'll save the commercial pitch for the end.
Okay. I'm interested in knowing about that one.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Uh, I'm laughing because if you knew the backstory,
You know what it
behind
is. I don't know what
Yes.
it is, but you
Yeah.
know what it is. Yeah.
I know what it is.
I just got a really
and
ominous comment on our last like reel or our last post or whatever. I was like, oh no, what does this mean?
I'm laughing because if you knew the backstory behind this, it makes it even funnier. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm about to find out, it seems like.
Yes, exactly. All right, yeah, let's get into our weekly Formula One brain cell because the season is back.
Mm-hmm.
The Australian Grand Prix went down over the weekend, the opening round of the 2026 season, and it was. I got home just in time because I was out at the track this weekend at Phoenix for the IndyCar NASCAR weekend, and I got back on Saturday night just in time for lights out. I got like lights out was like 9:02, and I walked in the door at like 8:57. I was like, yes, perfect timing.
Yeah, good
Um,
timing.
I had the stream on my phone. Like I was watching the pre-race stream on my phone while I was walking back out to my car. I'm like, first thing I turned it on, and like the first thing that happens is I see a McLaren in the wall. I'm like, oh, here we go, baby.
Yeah, welcome to the 2026 regulations where cars crash due to unregulated power spikes for no real reason.
Still, yeah, I still don't know what happened. They don't know what happened. Nobody's saying anything. Oscar was confused. Zach Brown seemingly didn't care because he was like,
Because why would he? It's Oscar, not Lando.
yeah, he was
Um,
like, yeah. They talked to him on the grid, and he was like, haven't talked to him. Like, okay, cool.
I think I read something, and I don't know how true it is, but they said that he got a power spike to the unit, and it caused the car to lock up, which is the same thing that
Mm,
happened to Max in
yes,
qualifying.
that's true. Yes, that sounds about right. Because I mean, yeah, they were on the formation to the grid lap, so they were going so much slower.
Right.
And I didn't see anything like he didn't hit a curb that would have caused it. I mean, took a little bit of curb, but that wouldn't have upset the car like that. So that makes the
Mhm.
most sense, which is crazy. Like, hey, can't brake no more in these cars, or you're gonna crash.
Sure, or like you could just be driving and do everything great, and then all of a sudden your hybrid unit decides that it wants to pull way too much energy, and then your whole car locks up and you have
Hmm.
no control over it and you just go straight into the wall.
Yes.
It's really safe, FIA. Super safe to do this.
Yeah. True. Um. So anyway, yeah, race Saturday night. You did not watch it. I know you didn't watch it because it was like,
No, I was asleep
yeah,
because it was 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.
yeah,
Nope.
gonna be worse this weekend in China.
Probably also won't watch. I'll watch the replay later, but
Yeah.
I need my sleep. I'm working like 80-hour weeks. I don't think it's that much, but it certainly feels like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
And
um,
daylight savings, which you don't do.
I do not do that. Correct. It's great.
Yeah, we lost an
Um,
hour. We lost an hour on Sunday. For those of us that are on the Eastern time zone, I know you can empathize with me here. Waking up on Monday morning, not good. Bad, very bad. Lost an hour. Spring forward. You can take that and shove it where Punxsutawney Phil lives.
I, I enjoyed changing my clocks here because I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. I had to change my
We just have a
microwave and my oven and my car and the microwave at work and the other microwave at work and my phone and my watch were fine because those were synced and my laptop because that my laptop lately has done this fun thing where it decides to unsync itself from the normal time and date.
yeah.
So I powered it on last night and I probably had it on for like a while, obviously, because it said it was like Sunday at 9:45 p.m. It's like, girl, you are 2 days time traveled the other
That's not
direction.
right.
What's wrong with you?
There's a movie right there, The Computer That Time Travels. Um,
The computer
we'll
that time
pitch that to
travels and makes
we'll
you
pitch
old,
that.
directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, we'll pitch that to the studio coming up.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, yeah. Anyway, before the race, because you put this in there, we talked about Aston Martin being a disaster. Well, we find out ahead of Australia that that bold drivers were like, we can only drive this car for 25 laps, or we might get nerve damage.
Yeah. risking permanent nerve damage from how much that car bounces and vibrates, they just kept respawning their drivers during the race. We were like, Alonso's out. And then 5 laps later, you're like, never mind, he's back. Like, wait.
I
They
was
were
so
literally just using
confused
it
by
as a
that.
test.
Yeah. I was so confused by that because as you watched, I was watching the timing screen and I thought they were out. And then at one point it popped up and it was like Lance Stroll plus 14 laps. I was like,
Yeah.
huh?
You're like, we're really doing this. Okay.
Like, I don't truly don't understand what's going on over there. Um, Shout out to them because I think Lance Stroll managed to get in like 35, 40 laps or something like that during the race, despite going in and out all the time. Um,
Yeah, he finished the race.
Despite being, like I said, like 15 laps down. So good for him, I guess. Like what? How? I don't. Anyway, allegedly the Aston Martin people didn't know that Honda had completely cut down on their engine department
Yeah, they just showed
until
up and
like
it was like an empty room. They're like,
the end of
oh.
the end of 2025. I'm like, oh my god, you idiots! Like, poor Adrian Newey, man. Can you imagine being Adrian Newey going over there, with all this money because we know Aston Martin's loaded,
Yeah, there's no
and
poor Adrian Newey. Dude got the bag. And there's no expectations on him right now because he's like, look, I built a fine car, but the engine's falling apart. What am I
yeah,
supposed to do about it?
yeah.
It's like, that's on you guys.
Um, so they're not gonna have this fixed anytime soon. I don't think in the middle of the
Mm-mm.
season. So
And they also just like don't have any spare parts, to my
yeah,
knowledge. Is like,
yes,
yeah, if things break, they're like, we simply can't fix it.
yeah. That didn't that
Cool.
happen to that happened to Williams 2020. That wasn't last year. That was 2024, I think. I don't think that was last
Yeah, I
year when they
think that
just
was the weekend that
it was Logan
Albon
Sargent
and
because it was
Sargent both
2024.
crashed.
It was
Yep.
2024, right? And they didn't have the backup car, so they had to kick Logan Sargent out of his car
Yeah.
and to put Alex Albon in the car because they didn't have
Hmm.
the spare parts to
Yeah,
fix the
both
car.
cars crashed and they didn't have enough parts. They were like, I don't know if we can run this race. And they were like, well, but what if we only run one car? So horrible.
Unreal, unreal. So that happened, and then we get to the race, um, and Mercedes out front, Ferrari's up there as well, um, and then we get to the now. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to get to kind of the overall storyline of the race, which I will do it by saying this. Um, Formula One's social media put out a post with the amount of overtakes this year. There were 125 overtakes this year compared to 45 in last year's race. There were less than 30 in 2024 at the Australian Grand Prix.
And to the casual
And
observer, that is a wonderful number.
yes, now allegedly, and I tried to confirm this, and it seemingly is correct. Formula One was going through and hiding replies to the post. All they were mostly negative towards it, and I'm like, okay, good for them, because a lot of people did not enjoy this. I did. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. For the first 15 to 20 laps before the safety car, I was like, I've never seen Formula One like this. It felt more like I was watching like an IndyCar race or something like that, where you would see maybe more overtaking. And then I think the drivers kind of figured it out a little bit, and then it kind of stabilized for the last 35 laps of the race, and became more like we are used to
Sure.
in Australia, where there's not a lot of overtakes, etc., etc. But the first like 15, 20 laps of this race were insane. It was like we had the start was exciting and crazy. We had,
People
we
stalling
had,
on the grid.
yeah, we had, Pierre Gasly, or no, sorry, no, that wasn't Gasly. It was the other Alpine, whose name I forgot.
Colapinto?
Anyway, yes, Colapinto, who like, I'm sure you've seen this video by now. The onboard of Colapinto
Mm-hmm.
having to avoid the V carb. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
it was
my
Liam Lawson.
god, yeah,
It
that
was,
was a
if you've seen that video, there was that video that went viral a couple years ago of, I think it was in maybe F2, of Isaac Hadjar at the time in F2 avoiding a car in the tunnel in Monaco.
Hmm.
And he goes blind around this corner and he's going
Hmm.
so fast. And then in a split second, he realizes there's a car there and is able to cut the wheel and go
Yeah.
around what would have been a horrible crash.
Hmm.
And it was very much the same thing. That's like when you're speeding up and accelerating right off the grid and you're more worried about all the cars like
Yeah.
bumpering around you, you're not really looking directly in front, or you're expecting that everybody got off the grid okay.
Right.
And then you run up really quick on somebody that's stalled and it's like, well, here we go.
Hmm.
And thankfully he managed to get around him, but it was quick reaction time.
Because that was one of the things that leading up to a lot of people were trying to figure out because the
Mm-hmm.
drivers and teams were like, hey, we got to figure this out because of these new regulations. It takes these cars longer to get set on the grid to, give them the right amount of power they need to get off the line.
Mm-hmm.
And so they changed changed it up a little bit, and there were still problems. And there's still a big difference in the field in terms of the kind of starts people were getting. So much so that Lewis Hamilton, who was starting seventh on the grid, he had an empty slot ahead of him because Piastri obviously crashed before the race, but he almost took the lead of the race into turn
Mm-hmm.
one. He had such a great start. Same thing where Charles Leclerc got a great start and was able to get the lead for a little bit. Um, and so, like, when you get a start like that, that as exciting as that, and then you get just a crazy battle between George and Chuck for 10 laps side by side, changing every single lap. Lewis coming in at one point, making a three-way battle, almost taking a lead him as well. Then Kimi kind of, because of the battle, was starting to make his way up, and it became a four-car battle. And the amount of lead changes we got were more than probably the entire season of Formula One last year. I'm sorry to the rest of the Formula One fans who were complaining about this. I know you weren't a fan of it, but watching it live for me, I was like, this is awesome. This is what I want. I like watching overtaking. That's why I watch racing. I like watching cars go side by side at 170 plus miles an hour. That's why I like racing. And that's what we got at Australia. And even though a lot of people will say it was manufactured, I don't think it was. I'd rather watch a race like that with manufactured overtaking than watch a DRS train. 11 times out of 10 for me.
I love watching overtaking. I love watching good racing and good overtaking and like showcasing the skill of the drivers. But this overtaking is not about the skill of the drivers. This overtaking is about who has a better battery. And some drivers went to the grid with no battery. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the regulations are so all over the place in teams are still struggling to figure out what causes that. It's the overtaking to say is just you pass someone with your battery and then your battery runs out and then they pass you back and then you recharge and then you pass them when their battery runs out and it doesn't have anything to do with, I mean, it has some things to do with your on track position, but you used to see people really making more like dives into corners and things like that, and now a lot of it just relies on the battery, which is okay, but this is no longer about engineering a car for performance. This is about engineering a battery for performance and your software for reliability. And you might as well be making a computer at this point rather than a race car, if those are the things that you're focused on.
As I would slightly disagree insofar as if it was the best built car won the race. They finished first and second. They deserved to win. Ferrari built
Because
the
they have an
second best
illegal
car of the
engine.
year, and they had yeah, so yeah. Well, that's a whole other story. And then Ferrari was the second best car, and they finished third and fourth, and they were way, way ahead of the rest of the field. They were way ahead of McLaren and Red Bull, who I think actually made
Mm-hmm.
an extra stop as well. But um, they were way ahead of those two. George lapped up to P7, so there's a big disparity in
Yeah,
the
it's
field.
not
So
fun
it's
to see P6 be 54 seconds behind P1.
but again, that's what Formula One used to be like
Sure.
20 years ago plus. It's only really been in the last, you know, probably since 2014, really, since those regulation sets where everybody seemed to really close up and get a lot closer, where you weren't seeing that disparity in the on the grid. So like to me, this Formula One's always been about who builds the best car, and that's what's happening here again. It's like the team with the best car right now, they won that race, and they did. And so again, like they're going to, first of all, I think these teams are going to figure this out, and the battery is not going to be much of a problem as the season goes on. In fact,
I hope so.
China this weekend, like I said, we saw that in the back half of that race in Australia. I think teams were ended up figuring out, and the best example of that was the battle between Max and Lando.
Hmm.
And they weren't able to overtake at all. It was Max was stuck behind Lando for 25 laps despite having a little bit fresher set of tires on him, and being in that overtaking range under a second. He just could not make any moves get past him.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of what eventually that's what's going to happen. Drivers are going to figure it out, and we're going to get more of that style. And so I'm curious to see how teams figure this out, because I actually don't I don't mind the battery thing, because it adds another element of strategy for these teams, especially as we get to different types of tracks like China, where it's going to be easier to recharge the batteries on a lot of these tracks, because Australia you're flat out for pretty much the entire lap around the circuit.
Hmm.
And so it's really hard to recharge your battery, which is why we were getting on that stretch. We were getting the with I don't know. You've probably seen the videos too. I was explaining to Kitty and Crash and everybody at Speed Freaks. I was showing them the videos of the onboards, and I was helping them watch the telemetry, and uh, and it's wild. Like you can't tell if you're watching the race, but if you really are intent, like it was wild watching cars go flat out on that that stretch where it's super fast in Australia. And then all of a sudden you get to the end of that straight, and you're watching the miles per hour dip by 15 miles an hour out of nowhere, despite the car being flat out. Like, it's just
Right.
like,
That's not
whoa.
racing. You shouldn't be losing speed on a
No, I
straight when you're
agree.
full
Yes,
throttle.
I agree. That's super
I
silly.
have a problem with that. That like when you get to tracks that have long straights, like you start talking about Azerbaijan, you start talking about
Hmm.
Imola, you start talking about tracks like that that are not Monaco or Qatar, where you're doing a corner every second. It's you're just the batteries at this point in time are not made to allow the drivers to go flat out in the way that they were doing before. And I think that's going to be off putting to the drivers. It could be off putting to fans watching. But more than anything, I feel like, and I think it's going to be off putting to fans if we continue to see this big of a gap in between cars, because it's no fun for you if you look at the timing board and your driver's down 2 laps.
Hmm.
You don't have a dog in the race anymore. If only the top 5 cars are really ever in contest to go and score and be within a lap of each other, it's not going to
Right.
be fun for fans that are fans of other teams that are in the midfield. It takes some of the heat out of the midfield race in the way that we used to have it with even with the DRS trains, but cars that were trying to score that last point,
Hmm.
that felt more viable, like it was worth something. If you're
Right.
down 2 laps and fighting for the last point, it doesn't feel like it's worth anything.
Yeah, because we had, there were 6 cars, I think, that didn't finish. Let me look that
Hmm.
up just to be safe here.
It was
Uh,
it was something close to that.
yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3,
Piastri,
4,
Hulkenberg,
5.
Hadjar.
And then and Lance Stroll as well, who finished the race but was
Lance Stroll
15
finished.
laps down.
Alonso did not finish.
Yeah. So yeah, there
So
were
that's
one,
4.
two, like poor Nico Hulkenberg didn't even start the race because he
Yeah,
couldn't even get the car started.
right. That's a
So,
bad problem to have. That's not a
mhm.
good look.
Like there's going to be a race this year, and I think it was maybe Martin Brundle who said this, or somebody on one of the broadcasts this week who's like, I think we're going to have and he thought maybe it was going to happen in Australia because it was the first race, where we're going to have a race where all you have to do is just finish the race to finish in the points. There's going to be
Right.
so many failures. And like, I have a feeling we're going to have that happen at some point in time, because, especially as these engines get more laps and miles put on them and they put more stress on them, that's when we're really going to start to see problems.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so there's going to be a race this year where all Cadillac has to do is just finish the damn race, and they're going to get themselves some points.
Uh-huh. Well,
um, We did have some other great storylines too that popped up here that we needed to shout out.
Hmm.
Dude, Arvid Lindblad. Holy cow. What a
Great
drive from
debut.
him. What a
Great
drive
debut.
from him. Qualified the car up front on the grid. Um, just behind just behind Isaac Hadjar, who had a great qualifying session and put the car up front as well. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, he had some reliability issues during the race and was able to finish. But
Yeah.
yeah, Arvid Lindblad showed up at 18 years old, your first race in Formula One, scoring points on debut,
Hmm.
uh,
Third
finishing
youngest, I
eighth.
believe, to do that.
Mm-hmm. Finishing eighth and running up front for a decent amount of the early part of the race, and then I think part of it was some of the safety cars that kind of did him in a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, scoring points on debut and the Red Bull Junior team, impressive stuff from Arvid. Gabriel Bortoleto scoring points for Audi in their debut as well,
Hmm.
taking over that team full time. So yeah, there's some great storylines. Max won driver of the day because he went from the back of the grid all the way up to sixth.
Hmm.
So that was a great drive from. I will say I was watching his onboard earlier in the race, and it was just so much. It was fun just watching him carve up the field. I was like, this is cool. I know you don't enjoy
Yep.
doing it, Max. You don't like these cars, but it was still fun to watch.
Right. Yeah, he said repeatedly all over the course of the weekend, he's like, yeah, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not having fun. And then drives through the field P20 to P6. It's like, okay, well, we're having fun. So
Right?
please keep doing that. He's racing the Nürburgring this year.
Yes, I saw that as well. Yep.
Good for him. That'll be fun.
Yes. All right, there you go. So that's your recap of what happened in Australia to kick off the season. We moved to China and a sprint weekend.
God.
I know people. I know people
Sprint
hate this.
weekend, new regulations.
I know people hate the sprints. I love the sprint weekends. But yeah, it's going to be so much tougher because these teams need time to practice and test these cars. So that's not going to happen. It's
Hmm.
interesting. Anyway, yeah, I have a feeling the sprint race is going to be terrible because they're just going to use it as an extra test session. Uh, but anyway, yeah, this is another race where it's going to be late. It's going to be, I believe, it starts at 11 p.m. my time, so I will be awake and I will be watching.
I am looking. My time. Sprint starts at, oh yeah, 11 p.m. my time. Uh, so earlier for you. And then the race starts at 3 a.m. my time, so midnight for you.
Oh, it is midnight. Okay, midnight.
Hmm.
Never mind. Midnight. I'll be awake.
Yeah.
Uh, um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I actually found myself. I know it's on Apple TV now, but I was still
Mhm.
using the F1 app because I didn't. Apple lied to me. Apple lied to me. They said they were gonna be like, oh, all the races are gonna be in 4K. You're gonna have like multi-view options. You're gonna have all this other extra stuff. And on at least on my Roku, they didn't. So I just stuck with my F1 TV app. So I was able to watch in 4K UHD. It looked awesome. And instead of using the Apple version, so
Huh. Yeah, it might have just been because you were trying to get it through a streaming stick. You'd have to ask my dad because he watched the replay. Well, he only
mm-hmm,
watched the replay, but like he's using the Apple TV now. We got him set, so he
mm-hmm.
can watch the races going forward. But yeah, I'm hoping that those options that you sent me are real and true, and that we can get those because it would be cool to have some of the new cameras and the new
Yeah, because I
broadcast
didn't.
channels and things like that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Like I think one of the things we were gonna have team channels, and
Hmm.
I didn't really check during the race. I was kind of in the build up. I was looking, and I didn't see an option for the team channel, which is kind of the one I wanted to use the most.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and again, no. The thing that sucks again, no multi view natively in the Apple app or the Apple TV app on Roku, which is dumb. Apparently, that is only available if you have like an Apple TV like box, which is silly.
Oh,
Whatever. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why I use the multi-viewer app on my laptop, which was great. And so I have the timing and scoring, and then I was able to put, I had I had Lewis, Chuck, and Max's onboards I was watching. So
Mhm.
that's how I prefer. Even though it
Yeah,
was
that's the right
delayed.
way to do it.
Even though it was
Sure.
delayed, the onboards were ahead of the main broadcast. So, but
Yep.
it is what it is. All right, let's move on here. Oh yeah.
You got some
Ah, damn.
racing
Really?
done this weekend.
Yeah. I was out in NASCAR, IndyCar, Phoenix Raceway this weekend. IndyCar race was unfreaking believable, man. I was really worried about what the cars were going to race like because the last time IndyCars were at Phoenix was boring.
Mm-hmm.
They put on an absolute flipping show this weekend, man. There were 500 plus on track passes, which was a record
Wow.
for Phoenix Raceway. It was an absolute show. There were 3 different leaders in the last 15 laps of the race, um, 2 passes for the lead in the last 10 laps of the race. Like it was an unreal show, and it was awesome. Our Danish diva himself had the best car, should have won the race, and unfortunately, he got hit by Will Power, and Rasmussen hit the wall, and his car was never the same after that, yeah, he just fell back at the end. Ended up finishing 14th, which is silly.
Ugh.
Um, yeah, Joseph
Yeah, you
Newgarden
texted me that
was
he was leading, and then he was still leading when I checked with like 10 laps to go in the race. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
he might pull it off.
yeah, and then he stayed out on his tires because there was a later race caution, and he stayed out on his tires for track position and the last stint of the race, and yeah, he just got caught down by faster cars,
Mm.
and then he ended up hitting the wall again, I think, late in that stint as well, and so that's why he fell back. It was yeah, old tires, hit the wall again, just yeah,
Yep.
unfortunate for him. Joseph Newgarden ended up winning the race, but it was awesome. And so that happened. But before that, on Friday night, um, I I had the opportunity to ride in the IndyCar 2-seater. So I got to go for a ride in one of these bad boys around Phoenix Raceway.
That's
And
so
dude,
cool.
this was like a flipping roller coaster, man. It was so cool. Like to especially on a short oval where the actual IndyCars themselves were going about one. I think the fastest speed was one. I don't think they were. I think it was about 180 on the straights is what they were getting. I don't think they were touching 190, maybe 190, but 180 at least. Qualifying speeds were 173, 174,
Mhm.
and so yeah, the 2-seater. We got 2 laps around the track, so it happened super fast, and it was like a freaking roller coaster, man, because the amount of G-force in that race car as you're in the corners on that circuit was just unreal. Like it's like this is why you're like, oh, this is why drivers have to train their necks because drivers turning left, G-force, and I'm this way. I'm
Right.
going the opposite direction I'm supposed to be. I'm like straining to go, kind of get back to center. Like yeah, I was like screaming the entire time, like a full ass roller coaster. It was so much fun. And you're just like you do that and you just gain appreciation for these drivers who have to do it for 250 laps. I'm like, oh my
Hmm.
god, how do you do that for 250 laps? Uh, but yeah, if anybody gets a chance to do it, highly recommend. So much fun,
Yeah, that's
roller
so cool.
coaster on steroids, and yeah, that was really cool. So thank you to Matt Humphrey and Phoenix Raceway for allowing me to do that. I had a blast. I wish there was a camera in front of me in the car, but I don't know where
We
to get
need the
that footage.
footage.
I don't
We
know if
need the
that footage
footage.
lies somewhere because all it would be is literally just me screaming the entire time.
I would still be interested in obtaining it. We could put it in the show open.
Yes. um, yeah. So that happened this weekend. Do you want to? Because we have. How was your second week on back on the ice?
Much better than the first, let me tell you. Well, okay, the first wasn't bad because I know we didn't cover this here on the show, but
Mm-hmm.
I've covered it with my mom when I was talking to her, so this is going to be a retelling of that story. But uh, I, as many of you know, played hockey through college, which is probably about 15 years of my life on skates, which is more than half.
Mm-hmm.
But worth noting, I have not skated on player skates since I was about 8 years old, um, possibly 9. And I was never very good. And I got the weird, wild idea to just go ahead and try it again. And for the first 7 to 10 minutes of my first week back last week, I thought I was going to die. It was like being in a rocking chair from hell that would just, I could not get it squared away, whether I was too far forward or too far back. And I wasn't falling down, but I know I looked like those people at public skate that are
Yeah.
1 inch from falling down if they hit a crack in the ice the wrong way. Like, if you even think about that little chip that's sitting there, you're going down. And that's what I felt like. I somehow managed to, like, I blacked out. I was out of body. I managed to tow myself over to the boards on the far side without falling down, but probably looking totally stupid doing it. And I just had to, like, sit there for a minute and just get my bearings. And then I was like trying some basic stuff that was like, okay, the one thing I've always been really good at is like inside edges. So I'm like, let me find my inside edge and like do some like pushes back and forth, like essentially like goalie moves. I'm like, looks like I was kind of scratching up the crease. I'm like, let me do something I'm comfortable with and get back on my feet. And then like by the end of the session, I was doing fine. I it turns out some skills do translate if you spend a long enough time on the ice. The problem was just the initial balance point. I was like, I've not immediately when I stepped on the ice, I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, this was the dumbest idea. I don't know why I signed up for this. Like, I paid money for this and I'm not going to be able to do it. And that's probably, according to the astrology girlies, that's the Sagittarius in me that says if I'm not immediately good at a task, it makes me angry and I want to quit. And I'm pissed off that they were right about that because that is a quality I have. Um, but it was fine. And then this week I was totally comfortable, was totally like just like ready to go. I think I could play a low level league drop in. Like, I'm certainly not gonna be up there. Like, the problem is that it's an open stick and puck,
Mm-hmm.
and so they'll have like, you get a maximum number of people in there, but when you have 25 or 30 people on the ice, it gets really crowded, even if the majority of those 25 to 30 people are staying in both ends properly. Like, they broke off and played small area games. That's fine, but not everybody wants to play, so the rest of us were kind of in the middle. And just only having the area between the two blue lines and realistically a little bit less than that to work with just doesn't give me very much room to
Yeah.
practice like basic skating skills, which is fine. So, I'm getting some stick handling in and stuff that I'm not used to on the right hand side very much. Like, when I coached, I used my right handed stick, but when I played goalie, I was a left handed stick. Um, and I have never scored a goal in my life, so I won't pretend to say that I have a lot of skill, but I can shoot the puck where I'm aiming it,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's a pretty good prerequisite. Like, I'm not going to accidentally fire it off into Tasmania and hit someone that's
Yeah.
standing
Yeah.
50 feet from the net. I can go where I'm aiming. I used to coach goalies. I can pick a spot, but it's like just it's learning a lot of things for the first time over again. But it's also been fun in the sense that there's not really any expectations, and I'm just kind of relearning that. Yeah, I really did enjoy playing hockey. This was a fun time in my life, and like, we can get back to that. So I'm gonna try it out again. I think maybe this weekend if I get some time to breathe for myself and try like an earlier session and just see if it's a little less crowded because I just need some space to get some edge work in. I can't find my outside edges for anything, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, like, I'm only good at inside edge and then neutral. So if anyone who's listening to this has any tips about outside edge, please help me out. Because I was a goalie. We don't do outside edge. We don't have that. We have that, but you shouldn't be using it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using your outside edge, something's wrong. So that's about it. But I'm having fun. It's all right. It's a little like Alyssa Liu moment. It was like, step away from it, come back, remember you love
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
rinse and repeat.
Right. Right. Gonna be lighting up the league soon.
We'll see. I'll settle for scoring my first goal at some point and then maybe we go from there. I don't know what position I would play, is the problem. Like, I feel like I would maybe feel the most at home on defense
Mm-hmm.
because it's closest to being a goalie, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't know if like my shot from the blue line in would be hard enough to ever score a goal. I would
Yeah.
just be setting other people up.
Yeah.
and I would not feel good taking a face off. So that would limit me to wing and defense,
Yeah.
and probably wing. But everybody wants to play wing when they first start out because there's no expectations. Your
Yeah.
only job is like mostly stay on the side of your ice, on the
Yeah.
ice that you're supposed to be on. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a right wing, you stay on
I
the right.
hated
If
playing
you're a left
defense.
wing,
I
you
hated
stay
playing
on the
defense.
left.
It was the worst because you had to
But I
skate
can
so
skate
much.
backward. I spent
Yeah.
most of my life skating backward.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be more natural to me to like play that gap. It would be a little more of an innate skill.
Because
I don't know. We'll see.
my favorite thing to do it was when I played because I knew I wasn't a good skater and I knew I wasn't like a very good puck. I wasn't very good at anything, to be honest. I was absolutely terrible. But
Neither am
I did
but
like
we're in this together.
yeah. I'd like to goon it up a little bit. You know, I like to get I because first of all I would say I'm tallish,
Sure.
skinny, but tall. So I was
Skinty.
yes. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna piss off some goalies and I'm gonna stand right here in front of the net, right on the edge of the blue paint.
Yeah, you would have been my worst nightmare.
And that's where I was. I was like, I'm just gonna stand here and hope maybe catch a rebound or something and screen goalie, whatever. And there was one goalie who got pissed off at me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna stand here still." And that's how I scored both of my career beer league goals is by doing just that, by just standing in front of the net and hoping something would find my stick, and it did.
All right. I don't think I would make a very good screen, so I might have to try a different tactic.
Yeah. Yeah, not
I
quite.
would love
Not
to
quite.
score goals. I would love for the development on this to be that I could score 1 billion goals, but I just don't think that's going to be the case.
Well,
I think I'm going to be lucky if I don't get my team.
I feel like
on.
you could be like, especially in beer league hockey, if you're a good enough skater, you could just blow by the defenseman. So if you use your speed, that's how you score. That's like you can be a defenseman, get the puck, and then just be really quick and just boom, see you later.
Sure. That's what I'm
There you
leaning
go.
on is like if I'm a good enough skater that I have the basic skills to be like one of the better, like the top third, I'll say, of like C League skaters, I think that's a big skill.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have those prerequisites. Like I can stop, I can turn quickly, I can skate backward, I can skate forward, I can handle the puck, and I can shoot where I'm aiming.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people probably don't have those.
Yeah.
Or not all of them together. Now I'm not saying I do all of those perfectly, but I can stop. I'll tell you that. And that's like the biggest thing. Like if you play beer league and you can't stop and you have to do the slow circle, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. I wonder, because I haven't skated probably since pre-COVID. I don't even know at this point. Like if I actually put my skates back on, if I would be able to recreate anything. I'd probably it would come back.
You could try it.
I could.
You could try
Doesn't
it.
mean
We
I
could try
will.
it with friend of the podcast is this summer potentially.
I don't even know where my
She
skates
would
are.
smoke us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She would smoke us, and then she would laugh about it the whole time about how bad we are.
Yeah. Yes. Ain't that the truth? Oh, did I tell you that her team like won like her like little tournament or something?
No, that's so cool.
Yeah. Why didn't I tell you that? I'll tell you more off air. I'll tell you more off air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll fill you in. I was going to tell
I
you
need
and
to
then I
send some
forgot.
texts.
I think because it was on a Sunday. I'm pretty sure it was because it was on a Sunday. And it was a Speed Freak Sunday, and so I got it, and I was like, "Oh, I need to tell Jordan about this. She'll enjoy this," and I just completely forgot. So I'll fill you in after the show.
All right, fill me in.
I just gotta. What is that for?
Oh,
okay.
spam
I have no
text?
idea what. Something just came across my timeline that they charged me money for. I don't even know what it is. Guess we'll find out.
Oh, do you owe money to the postal service in a scam that wants you to put your credit card information in?
Luckily, no. No, this was from PlayStation.
I hate
so
when they do that. Oh,
this was from PlayStation.
PlayStation. Did you
I
buy
think
an
I forgot
online
to
membership?
I think I forgot to delete the Fortnite thing.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it.
I think that's what that is. Oops. Oh well.
Oh well.
That's fine. Maybe they'll give me more free stuff this month.
Yeah, it will. It definitely will.
Sweet.
That's how that works.
Yeah. I did buy the Chapel Roan of Arc skin because I had enough
That's cool.
V-Bucks, so I do have that now. So yeah, eventually we will during our charity live stream
Mm-hmm.
to celebrate our 100th episode this some point this summer.
Soon, within the next like
Yeah.
I don't know 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it should be like in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's doable.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Do we have time for the commercial pitch, or we can save that for next week?
You
I
teased
can.
the commercial pitch at the start of the show. You're gonna leave the people hanging on the commercial pitch?
We're already going an hour and 5 minutes, so I can tell you
It's
about it off
fine.
air.
No. I want to know. Tell the people.
Okay. Okay.
I'm the people. Tell us.
Okay.
I don't want to leave them hanging. People
Yeah.
they won't come back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We don't have a big enough viewership for them to come back.
I did also promise that I would explain to you what this was, so we can get you on
Mhm.
board with this. Okay. All right. So the backstory to this is that one of our friend group is filming a commercial, and so that's how that came up. Is there's a commercial that's
Okay.
being filmed that involves people that we know.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. And so that's how this came up. And so Scotty came up with this idea. He was like, "We need to do a commercial for your podcast." And so started brainstorming and came up with some ideas.
Okay.
And so I asked earlier today. I asked for the Cliff Notes version of the. I said, Scotty, I need a short version of your commercial pitch so I can explain to Jordan on the podcast today. He said, "We want the viewers on their toes since your podcast is essentially randomness," which is 100% true. So we lead them with a mystery that really doesn't have a plot, or does it? ...
Okay. I'm on board. I'm immediately on board.
Okay. Here's the short version. There's two scenes. I get a scene and then you get a scene.
Okay.
And then this is what this is what happens. Short version. Richie scene. Richie gets the mail, opens a mysterious letter that can be connected to spell out Jordan's name. Richie then calls Jordan.
Okay.
Then it cuts to you. And it is a shot of Jordan's phone ringing at her podcast desk, but it gets sent to voicemail. We slowly lead the camera up to see an inflatable blow-up guy with his arms moving like those car dealerships, and Jordan is nowhere to be found. That's it.
Okay. I'm sold. Let's shoot it. I can call a guy. We'll get the cinematographers on this.
And then there's an end scene, and it says, directed and produced by a Scott and Fern production, parentheses, background music, Jordan singing the music from Halo 3 menu scene.
Please. I'll do it. Sign me up. I know exactly what they mean.
So,
That's
there you
so
go.
fun. No, that's fun. We got to do it. We got to do it, and we got to air it for I don't know when or where, but we have to for the people.
It is the commercial that's gonna make us go viral.
I think it's possible. It has the right vibe. I can picture it. I have the scenes in my head. It's absolutely
Yeah, it's
cinema.
it's a mystery. So keeps the people
Yeah.
wanting more.
We don't know we don't know where I am. We don't know why there's a tube man in the apartment. We don't know what my contact picture is for you, but we're about to find out.
The only thing that you need is you just need to buy an inflatable man.
Well, I mean, who's to say we can't just rent one?
Yeah, that's true.
That feels more attainable and sustainable.
Fern also said, "What if we recreate this scene from Halo while she sings the Halo song?" I don't know what this is. It's some sort of a meme. I'll send to you.
Okay.
There's more to
Okay.
this. There's more to this conversation, which I haven't even looked at. But there you go. That's
No,
the
I'm
pitch.
I'm
Are
excited for
you on?
that. Yeah.
Are you on board?
Yeah. I was in the second you said you had an idea. That's the problem with us. You're like, I have an idea. Say less. I'm in. And that's how we ended up booking a hotel for Chicago when we don't know the lineup yet.
Exactly.
Period.
Um, I was about to make a joke. I'm not gonna make a joke. We'll
Okay.
just move on. I'll
Play
tell
us
you the
out
joke.
while I sing the Halo 3 theme song.
I'll tell you the joke afterwards. All right, everybody,
Okay.
follow us at OHOBZPod everywhere. Stay tuned for our commercial, which will be coming at some point soon. Uh, yeah, charity live stream is gonna happen. We had to figure out. We had to find a charity, and we will be live for 37 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
37 hours, no bathroom breaks. So we got to work because we have to train for Lollapalooza. You see, because
Exactly. We're training
Lollapalooza,
for Barricade.
we're yeah,
Yeah.
we're training. So there'll be no water. There'll be nothing. There'll be no food. Nothing.
There
It's
will be
we
no
just
foolish wand waving. None of this. Yeah, we got nothing. We
yeah.
got
So
nothing.
yeah,
We have a will and a prayer.
and then we do it all on a treadmill because we need to get our fitness up
Mm-hmm.
for the run to the barricade while there's
Mm-hmm.
100,000 people behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a nightmare! What a nightmare that's going to be.
You sure you still want to go?
Yeah, duh. I do want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Innings
that's it.
innings was like, okay, we're done. Goodbye. See you later.
No more. We're done.